and welcome to my channel, where today we're going to go through some HeroClix news that was just released this past week. We have quite a lot of things that were previewed for the upcoming HeroClix products. So let's start off with the HeroClix Iconix retailer exclusive box set, which is the Death of Superman. As you can see, this box set kind of looks like the one that they released last year for the Hellfire Gala. And at the side of the box, you can see the black suit Superman along with Superboy and Steel. Now let's take a closer look with the images of the figures. And here we have is the Doomsday battling Superman. Such an iconic image. This was the final fight before Superman perished early 90s. So this story actually took place 30 years ago. I think this is such a wonderful sculpt that you can put them side by side and use them as a display piece. I've also liked that they did the terrain bases. So instead of the flat base, they are actually rocks under the feet of Superman and Doomsday. And here is the image of the Superman figure. And here is the Doomsday. Very nice. I do hope that these figures come out amazing paintwork in person. And here is the black suit Superman. I do hope that these silver parts on his suit is actually those metallic silver. I think it will be very cool, very reflective. And here we have Supergirl as well, who's also part of this 8-figure box set. This sculpt reminds me of the sculpt that was released for the chase in the Wonder Woman 80th set, where it was the Jokerized Supergirl. I think they're doing quite a similar pose. So it's nice to see that again. And here we have Cyborg Superman, one of the villains of the story. And here is Superboy, who we saw earlier on the side of the box. Very nice sculpt with the leather jacket, very classic. And here is Steel. Same for the black suit Superman. I do hope these metal are actually reflective so they can give a nice shine. Very nice to see him back. And here's the Eradicator, wearing the sunglasses and that energy coming out from his left hand. I like that this sculpt is actually flying, like as though he's about to land slowly onto the ground. Very nice. And here's the more information of this box set. As you can see, 30 years ago, the Death of Superman and the Reign of Superman stories revitalized comics. That's very true. And this box set has 8 figures, which we just went through, which is Doomsday, Superman fighting Doomsday, Steel, Cyborg Superman, Eradicator, Superboy, Supergirl, and the Superman Returned, which is the black suit Superman. So a very awesome collector's box that you can get for your friend or family or anyone that you care about that likes Superman. And this retails for about $80 for this box set. And now moving on to our next HeroClix Iconic set. This is the Knightfall box set. As we can see, we got the blue suit Batman on the side of the box. This is based off the Knightfall story where Bane breaks the Batman's back. As you can see the sculpt over here, this is the box that I really want to get because Knightfall is one of my favorite stories. As you can see, Bane breaking the Batman back. We actually did have a sculpt similar to this style that came out in DC 75th. So it's nice to see a more detailed version of this figure. And there's also a third figure in this set, besides the Batman figure and the Bane figure that we just saw earlier. There's going to be Azrael as well. This is the third figure that we can find inside this box. Now, personally, I do hope it's the Azrael that is in the Batman armor where he was wearing blue and yellow. That's a sculpt that I really do wish to see come back because it was only released as an LE figure. And now moving on to the next iconic set. This is the Batman and Robin meme slapping box. You can see Batman slapping Robin really hard. This is the closer look of the sculpt. As you can see, the base is also terrained. So we can see they are standing on rocks. And here's more information about this box set. It's a 2-figure box set. I do believe this is going for about $20 and the Knightfall one is $30. So it's about $10 per fig. And this also comes with character cards that are in a unique fall pattern, same as the earlier box. And now moving on to DC Notorious. As we can see, we have Lex Luthor in his classic green and purple armored suit, the Kryptonite armored suit. Now, I do hope there's going to be an Orange Lantern version of Lex Luthor coming up in DC Notorious, because the Orange Lantern ring was released in Batman Team Up set, where only Lovelace is the only legal modern age character that can use the ring. So I do hope that we are going to get another Lex Luthor, the Orange Lantern Lex Luthor, to wield the ring. That's something I'm hoping for. And here's a generic goon. And this is Harley Quinn from her Harley Quinn TV series, one of my favorite series that I'm watching. I've enjoyed all 3 seasons, and I'm really excited to see that this is a sub-theme of DC Notorious. And here is Poison Ivy, also a gorgeous, gorgeous sculpt. Now, this sculpt, I do believe, comes in the main set, as well as the play-at-home kit, which we'll see a little more later. And here's a Joker. I'm not too sure which version of Joker this is, so I won't comment too much, but I like that the sculpt is walking up the stairs, kind of like the Joker movie that was released a few years back. There's also going to be a normal paint job for this figure as well, where the suit is purple and the hair is green. So at least we know that this sculpt will be reused. And here's more information of this set. It has 75 figures to collect. As we saw earlier, we saw Lex Luthor and Joker, and a sub-theme is Harley Quinn animated series. There is also going to be return of the Black Lanterns as well. And here's the play-at-home kit with Poison Ivy. And here's the information of the play-at-home kit. Besides getting Poison Ivy, we're also going to get terrain markers and a legacy card as well. And here is Riddler, who is the release day OP figure. There's also going to be mystery cards that will be tied with Riddler as well. We're also going to get 3 legacy cards and new maps for this OP kit. And here's the Dyson token pack, where we got Two-Face, Bane, Mr. Freeze, Joker, Penguin, and Riddler. And the dice has the Riddler logo as well. So that's nice. I do believe we had previous versions of Joker, so it's nice to see something else. And now moving on to the storyline organized play for this year, it is going to be based on the Batman Beyond Royal Flush Gang. So what we have over here is Ace, which I believe is the main prize. We got 10. We got Jack. We got Queen. And we got King. So we can see there are going to be participation prizes where everyone will receive a bystander token, where it's going to be 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. And the competitive prizes are going to be figures of those characters that I just mentioned, with Ace being the grand prize figure. So the recommended format is going to be Battle Royale, but it kind of depends on your venue. It might not be Battle Royale, it could be Constructed or your normal Modern Age tournaments as well. So this should be releasing around the same time as DC Notorious. And here are a couple of spoilers that were taken from the Scott Porter Huntington's video. So we have a spoiler for Avengers 60th. Here is Black Panther. You can play him at 60 points or 35 points. He got a couple of traits, but I think the most important thing is that there is an update to the Avengers team ability. For all friendly characters with this team ability, at the beginning of the game, choose a team ability. This character modifies attack by +1 when attacking one or more characters with the chosen team ability printed on their base. I think this is a really good boost because previously you only get +1 to your move actions. This is going to be used so much more. Now it makes me wonder if the Justice League team ability will also be updated in due course. And here's another figure from the set, which is Jessica Jones. When establishing teams, choose a friendly character and the chosen character gains the detective keyword. So I do hope that we're going to get mystery cards from Marvel as well. I do believe there is going to be one that will be released in the monthly OP kit, that is the Moon Knight OP kit. So there's going to be Moon Knight, I think Black Knight, as well as Arthur Harrow. And here's the convention LE figures for this year. We're going to have Venom, God of Symbiote. You can play him at 270 points or 150 points. So you got two different starting dial where he has the trait God of Hunger, Shape Change, Steal Energy, and when Venom uses Steal Energy, instead of healing, he can generate a Symbiote Bystander. It's very cool because it plays well with his King of All Symbiotes trait, Leadership. At the beginning of turn, Venom generates a Symbiote Bystander. If Venom is 270 points, he may generate it adjacent to a friendly character named Symbiote or has the Symbiote keyword. Now, this Symbiote keyword was first introduced in the Spider-Man Beyond Amazing, the most recent set that we just played. And we have also got this special movement, Leave My Body and Tune into theirs. Charge. When Venom uses it, before moving, he may choose a friendly character named Symbiote or with the Symbiote keyword. If he does, place him and the chosen character in each other square. Now, this is going to give Venom such a great reach because you can always use Venom to generate a Symbiote Bystander token. You can use Venom Magneto to do a free TK or maybe carry this Symbiote all the way up and let Venom, God of Symbiotes, declare a power action to do charge, and maybe, just maybe, Venom can charge all the way to the other end of the map without much effort at all. And Venom also has this defense special power which is impervious, and when he uses it, increase the result by +1 for a friendly character named Symbiote. Now, this Symbiote could be the Symbiote that are the bystanders that he generated, and it could also be the 30-point Symbiote figure that was released in Spider-Man Beyond Amazing. I think this is going to be a must-have figure. Even if you don't play too well into Symbiotes, this is such an awesome sculpt. He has Symbiote, Cosmic, Deity, and Monster keywords, and he also has the Cosmic Energy team ability. Our next figure over here is Wonder Woman. We're all Amazons, that means we fight together. When another friendly character with the Amazon keyword takes damage from an attack, after resolutions, you may place Wonder Woman adjacent to that character. This is such a nice ability. Maybe you can give additional support for your friendly characters. This is a good way to place her right up in front because she has 11 attack, 19 defense, and the Wonder Woman team ability, so she will be able to maybe avoid the attack or absorb some damage. However, during force constructions, you can also add up to 3 friendly characters with the Amazon keywords to be assigned equipment without paying the cost. So you can play Wonder Woman at 150 points or 90 points, but being able to assign 3 equipments, this is such a great discount. And if you were to pay at 150 points, you have access to this special power, which is Into the Fray, where you can charge and sidestep. And she also has a damage power that begins on either the higher point or lower point dial, which is Lasso of Truth and Power. 3. Choose an opposing character within 4 squares and line of fire. That character can't use damage powers until your next turn. So there are going to be quite a lot of powers that you can stop. Besides your usual probability control, perplex, and outwit, you can even stop their range combat expert, their shape change, their close combat expert, their exploit weakness. There are going to be so many powers that Wonder Woman can prevent them from using. This is an awesome figure, and I could really see her being played at 90 points. And moving on to our next figure, which is Space Ghost. You can play him at 3 different point values of 80, 60, and 30. And he has this trait which grants him Stealth, Super Sense, and Super Strength. He also has another trait which is Jan, Jace, and Blip. Perplex. If Space Ghost has no action tokens, he can use it twice a turn. Okay, so you can perplex twice. And when Space Ghost uses perplex and targets a friendly character, that character has safeguard opposing probability control until your next turn. Wow, such a good way to prevent your opponent from using probability control on you. I mean, you're going to use perplex on your friendly characters. Normally, you'll be plussing their defense or maybe their attack value. So might as well get them protected from opposing prop controls. He has the celebrity keyword and cosmic and police keywords. He also has a attack special power, which you can use on either of the 3-point values, which is free. Choose one for him to use until he chooses again, which is either energy exposure and penetrating blast. Very good combination. He can also use energy shield deflection and invulnerability. Force blast is free or telekinesis. All of these powers at only 30 points. this is going to be a really, really good figure. He also ends off with the team player team ability as well. And now moving on, this is a prize for the Clickstuff Dan Powell's Legacy card, where he get to choose a figure to make it Legacy. So this was a chase that came out back in Avengers Assemble back in 2015. So now you can play this Iron Man chase figure at 120 points, where he has the trait I am Iron Man, Energy Shield Deflection Impervious. He can also reduce penetrating damage. And he has this Repulsor Thrusters, which grants Force Blast, Sleep Climb, and Sidestep. Now this is a movement special power which is only seen at the last 3 clicks of the dial. And the first 3 clicks of the dial, you can see this attack special, which is Energy Explosion and Penetrating Blast. An amazing combination. Can deal a lot of damage, especially this Iron Man has 3 targets. And he also has a damage special, which ignores elevated, I believe that is blocking terrain, hindering characters, and can shoot while adjacent. So free, choose one for Iron Man to use until your next turn, Outwit and Range Combat Expert. So if you really want to go crazy, you can go all the way up, use the Avengers team ability to maybe plus the attack by +1, and then you choose RCE. So the attack is now 13, and you're shooting for 6 damage with Penetrating Blast. Awesome figure. But at 120 points, might be a bit steep, so you do have to plan on how you want to support this figure and maybe find another secondary attacker as well, just in case. And now we're moving on to the Scott Porter figures. These are figures that I do want to get, and this is the HeroClix for Huntington's version of Scott Porter, where he's wearing the black shirt. And this is an amazing 25 points figure. So I do hope that you take the chance to actually go and watch this video where Scott actually talks about these figures as well. I think this is going to be a very competitive piece. Comics knowledge and acting roles. When establishing teams, choose a keyword, then choose a team ability another opposing or friendly character has on their dial. This game, Scott Porter has the chosen keyword and team ability. During game setup, if Scott is part of the team, increase the result of your roll for first player by +1. And being a celebrity keyword figure and being able to gain any keywords, I think this is going to be so easy to build a team. He also starts with Telekinesis and Perplex, which are very good support powers. He also has another trait, which is Support. At the beginning of a turn, Scott Porter may heal a friendly character 1 click. And this power of healing can happen anywhere on the map. So if your main attacker is all the way up front and getting damaged badly, you can always use this trait to heal that character all the way from the other side of the map. And he also has another trait, which is Scott Porter, part of a team. He starts with 3 community tokens. If Scott Porter has any community tokens, once per turn you may reroll any roll. If you do, after resolutions, remove a community token. So this is another form of the recently retired team probability control, but it's going to work on any roll. So if you're going to roll for your Blades Claws Fangs, or maybe your Shape Change or Super Senses, you can use this to reroll that. Special defense power, which is throughout his dial, is a Super Sense. Friendly characters modify defense by +1 when adjacent to a friendly character that shares a keyword with them. And since you're already going to be playing a team, you're just going to get this benefit straight out. And here's our next figure, which is the other Scott Porter variant, where he's wearing the Wizkids white t-shirt. And let's take a look at this dial. It is also 25 points with the celebrity keyword, comics knowledge and acting roles. Scott Porter has all keywords, even when he's not on the map. All keywords, man. Even the ones that are retired, like mutant, teen, Scott Porter has them. He also has another trait, which is what is up, everybody out there in the HeroClix land, which is his usual opening line in his unboxing videos. So at the beginning of the game, if Scott Porter is on a team, other friendly characters modify their attack by +1 as long as Scott Porter is on the map. At the beginning of the game, if all other friendly characters are from the same HeroClix set, other friendly characters modify their damage by +1 as long as Scott Porter is on the map. Now this works similarly to the collector chase figure that was from Disney Plus. They kind of do similar stuff, And the first set that I actually think of for the second part of the trade to get that +1 damage is actually Disney Plus, because I think there's so many good figures that you can tap into in that set, such as Sicarian Iron Man or the Scarlet Witch Chase, which both are celebrity figures as well. So you can make a team with Scott Porter very easily. He also has an attack special power, which is Power Bomb. Knockback, Pulse Wave, but does not target friendly characters. And now Pulse Wave is at the starting range of 4. So I think it's really good that you can sidestep up and Pulse Wave. And Scott Porter also has probability control at the top of his dial. What's in the cup today, which is a stop click regeneration. When he uses it, heal each adjacent friendly character 1 click. And we end off with a team player team ability as well for the Scott Porter figure. Now we are going towards the end of this video. Here we have the Scott Cramton from HeroClix. This is the bystander that he made for the HeroClix for Huntington's last year. So first place, Scott chose to make a bystander, and second place was Dan, who made the legacy card that we saw earlier on, which is the Iron Man. And forgot to mention that Iron Man legacy card will be introduced in the Wheels of Vengeance set that will be released, I think, the end of this year, which is a Ghost Rider set that I'm personally looking forward to, because Ghost Rider is one of my most favorite characters ever. Now we see Scott Cramton. He has 4 range, 4 movement, 4 attack, 4 defense, and 4 damage. Enhancement, he is the cheapest enhancement. He has a trait critical clicks. He only deals damage on a critical hit, and he has a free action. He can make an attack. If Scott Cramton is adjacent to a friendly character, lines of fire drawn to him are hindered. And he also has stealth. I think this is amazing bystander. I do want to get one. I do not own the Scott Porter bystander. I did have the previous one, which is Spirit of the Game. So I do wish to get Scott Porter and Scott Cramton, both of them. And one thing I really wonder about this figure, this bystander, is that how does Scott Cramton have toughness? I mean, he could be poisoned, right? So now moving on to our last one, which is just a sculpt. This is also a winner from last year. Ben managed to design his own sculpt, and I believe this is the likeness of him. I've not met him before or know who he is, so I do hope it's accurate and the way that he designed it to be. And yeah, so I do hope you have enjoyed taking this time, this long video, to go through the HeroClix news with me. So if you do like this video and want to see more of it, do give a like, subscribe, and share to your friends as well. And I hope to see you in the next one.